From Boston's Great Molasses Flood to Los Angeles's alligator picnics, these bizarre photos make history much more interesting. No one knows for sure why a hospital cleaning lady named Harriet Cole decided to donate her body to science, but her amazing contribution, her nervous system, lives on to this day. Shortly after Cole died in 1888, Dr. Rufus B. Weaver got straight to work on what would be a medical first, the removal and subsequent mounting of a person's entire nervous system. The painstaking process took 6 months, but once it was complete it became an invaluable teaching tool, not to mention an exciting spectacle for aspiring physicians. Since then, this remarkable feat has only been successfully replicated 3 times. French neurologist Guillaume Benjamin Amin Duchenne, Wright, carries out an experiment in electrophysiology by triggering a subject's muscles with electrical probes in order to produce a given facial expression, circa mid-19th century. In April 1926, dozens of Ku Klux Klan members in Cannon City, Colorado walked down Main Street and enjoyed some fun and frivolity on a traveling carnival's Ferris wheel. There they posed for a photo at the carnival owner's insistence, and a story about it appeared on the front page of the local newspaper the next day. At the time, the Klan was at the height of its popularity in America and often free to conduct its business in the open and with the government's blessing. Local children of Klan members were even known to write KKK on their school uniforms and call themselves the Ku Klux Kids. A woman tests a stroller intended to be resistant to gas attacks in Hextable, England in 1938, not long before the outbreak of World War II. A picnic at Los Angeles's California alligator farm, where patrons were allowed to mingle freely among trained alligators from 1907 to 1953. Adolf Hitler poses in lederhosen, circa 1930s. Hitler had this photo and several others banned because, in his opinion, they undermined his dignity. The photos surfaced again after an Allied soldier found copies of them in a German house in 1945. Princeton University students after a snowball fight in 1893. Before the turn of the century, the snowball fight was a common tradition at the school, and many students packed their snowballs with rocks. Members of the Young Pioneers, a Soviet government youth group, donned gas masks as part of an attack preparation drill in the Leningrad area in 1937. During a time when alarm clocks were expensive and unreliable, a knocker-upper was often hired by British people to wake them up in alternative ways. Mary Smith earned about 6 pence a week using a pea shooter to shoot dried peas at the windows of sleeping workers in East London in the 1930s. One of the largest horses in history, Brooklyn Supreme, stood 6 feet 6 inches and weighed in at 3,200 pounds during the 1930s. The cyclomer, an amphibious bicycle that never caught on following its introduction in Paris in 1932. Thanks to heavy fog, the steamship Princess May ran aground in Alaska in 1910. The ship was carrying almost 150 people, but thankfully no one was hurt. For a brief period in the 1930s, mothers in London kept their babies in cages suspended outside their windows to give them fresh air. Miraculously, no injuries or deaths were ever reported. Robert McGee was left permanently scarred after surviving a scalping at the hands of the Sioux tribe in 1864, when he was just a 13-year-old orphan. Spectators watch a horse diving act at an unspecified location, perhaps Pueblo, Colorado, on July 4, 1905. Horse diving was a popular spectacle through much of the 19th century, with horses, with or without a person on board, jumping from towers into a pool of water from heights as great as 60 feet. Participants in the beautiful leg contest wore pillowcases over their heads so that the judges can see only their legs. Palisades Amusement Park, New Jersey. 1951. A creepy vintage Halloween costume. Date and location unknown. In 1961, Soviet Dr. Leonid Rogozov was stationed at a Russian base in Antarctica when he realized that he had acute appendicitis, and he was the only physician there. Since escaping from Antarctica was out of the question due to harsh snowstorms, the doctor was forced to remove his own appendix. Not only did Rogozov survive, he was back on duty in just 2 days. A woman of the Democratic Republic of the Congo's Mangbeta tribe holds her child, circa 1929 to 1937. The Mangbeta once practiced Lapambo, a tradition in which a baby's head was wrapped tightly with a cloth in order to achieve an elongated skull, believed to be a mark of beauty.